Good morning. Welcome to day 3. So everybody is doing amazing. And I just want to remind you there's no way of failing. This is not a test. You do your best. You show up in every moment, your best. You slip up or you eat something you're not supposed to eat. You didn't end at all. It didn't just end and it's over and now you have to quit. It doesn't work like that. It's just, okay, next meal, I try again next meal and I do my best next meal. And something is better than nothing. And something is something. If you did something, then you did a cleanse because last week you did nothing. So I just want to remind you that. Okay, so today's question that I wanted to cover was, somebody asked me about she wants to feel more full. So what can she add to her lunch for more protein? So I just want to explain a little bit about protein. So a lot of people feel that when they add protein, it makes them feel more full because it takes longer to digest. So in terms of a cleanse, the longer something takes to digest, the less energy your body has left over for cleansing, healing, regenerate, and less energy you are left with. So you'll have less energy. So you might feel fuller, but you're gonna have less energy. What we're really looking for to feel full is volume, water, fiber. So if you are looking for more heaviness, so if you're on level 1, what I recommended for her is to add more, you could definitely do the legumes, the lentils, chickpeas, the gluten-free grains like quinoa, millet, oats, gluten-free oats, rice noodles, if they're Costco has good ones that are millet and brown rice. So you can play around with those things. You could definitely do avocados. You can definitely do nuts and seeds, tahini dressing, peanut dressing, all those kind of things. You can also do more cooked vegetables. So vegetables have a lot of volume. So there's more sweet potato and squashes and cooked broccoli and eggplants and peppers. So you make it a little bit more hearty. Now with that said, like I said, you have to eat more volume to feel full, especially if you're not used to feeling light. It could feel very uncomfortable. That's why a lot of times when I'm working with someone and I say, try to have just fruit for breakfast, if they were normally having eggs and toast or toast and peanut butter, it felt heavier in their stomach. And a lot of times we're not comfortable with lightness. So it's also an adjustment period. So yeah, so there's a lot to this. So I just want to say that on a cleanse, technically, we don't want things to digest longer, like a whole protein. That's why we're removing protein, like whole proteins like animals and fish and stuff like that, because they take so long to digest that we're giving less energy for the body to cleanse. So that's specifically for that. The other thing is energy actually comes from a cleaner body. When we're alkaline and oxygenated, we have more glucose, and when we're not digesting so much. That's why after a heavy meal, we don't feel like we want to go for a run, when we feel like we want to go for a nap. Okay, and then the other side is you want more water, more fiber for the volume. So you actually feel satiated. When your stomach is expanded, that's when your brain will say I'm not hungry anymore. So I hope that was helpful. And we're always so worried about protein. It's the number one question that I get asked all the time. What about protein? What about protein? So as humans, we need amino acids. We don't need protein. We need to break down the protein into amino acids, which we can therefore use. So if I am eating a whole complete protein, the first thing I have to say is, do I have a strong enough stomach and digestive system to actually be able to break it down into amino acids? Or will it end up rotting and fermentating in my gut and I don't get any of the amino acids absorbing? If anything, I'm causing more gas, CO2 gas, more acid, more mucus, less absorption of my nutrients, more cravings, more constipation. So we're not what we eat, we are what we can break down, absorb, digest, eliminate. Very important to remember that. So all fruits, vegetables are full of amino acids, so it's less work for my body and it gets exactly what it needs in a really easy way, so less likely for that food not to be digested. Okay, so I hope that is clear and that makes sense. So they did studies on people who only ate white rice or only white potatoes, and they still were not protein deficient. The only way to be protein deficient is if you are malnourished, you're not eating, and the body starts to eat itself up and starts to eat its muscle up. That's how you become protein deficient. So unless you are starving to death, impossible to become protein deficient. If you are hungry, it might be you have so much mucus in your body and that you're not absorbing your nutrients and your brain is not shutting off the signal. Everything we are doing is to remove mucus from the body so you absorb your nutrients better, and then naturally the hunger signal comes off. And it doesn't require willpower, it requires nothing. It just like shuts off, and it seems really easy. Okay, if you have an event coming up, you know, somebody asked me today in the call about she has an event, she's at like a brasserie, Sept, and then she's going out for dinner, nothing really that healthy. So what I suggested for her is to actually eat dinner around 3 o'clock, like to eat a real meal before she goes so that she doesn't, she's not hungry, and things are not as like when you're hungry, you know, a French fries or like bar food might seem more appealing because we're actually super hungry. I know that's happened to me before. I go to someone's house, I want to eat healthy, I'm starving, and then there's no chance, like I'm just gonna eat what's there. But if I would have like not been so hungry when I got there, I would have been able to, you know, maybe just dabble in the food but not eat everything. So I recommend it for her because she's on a cleanse and she wants to be cleansing, is to eat a meal, complete meal before she goes to the 5 Sept. I know it's boring, but to have like lemon with ice and water or lime so she feels like she's having a drink. And then when she gets to the restaurant, she found like salmon on the menu with some veggies because everything else was like cheese and pizza and stuff like that. So that was the suggestion for her. So like really to eat before she's going, almost like to eat enough throughout the day so when she gets there, she's not really that hungry and she's focusing on more the people around her. Her attention is not on the meal, but like enjoying everyone's company and, you know, keeping your mouth busy, water, hydrating. And when she's going to go home, she's going to feel great. So that's the questions that I got for today. Keep going. You got this. Have a great day.